rectangle has a height to width ratio of 2 to 3. The diagonal of the rectangle is 13 inches. Find the area. Let's start this problem by drawing a rectangle. Now it says the height to width ratio is 2 to 3. That doesn't mean that the height and width are 2 and 3. They are multiples of 2 and 3. And they are ratios, so what you multiply one side, you gotta multiply the other side by the same thing. But we don't know what that multiplier is, so we're gonna let that be x. So we can write the height as 2x and the width as 3x. So say x was 1. If I plug in 1 and 1, then the height and width would be exactly 2 and 3. If x was 2, then this would be 4 and 6. But we don't know what that multiplier is, so we're just going to let it be x. It does give me the diagonal as 13. The diagonal is right there. That's 13. And it wants the area. The area is going to be 2x times 3x, but I don't know what x is. But we can find it by realizing that this is a right triangle. And I can use the Pythagorean theorem to get an equation involving x there. So using the Pythagorean theorem, you got the two sides squared added. You're going to need to use parentheses. So it's 2x in parentheses squared plus 3x in parentheses squared. That equals the hypotenuse squared, which is 13 squared. This now is an equation that I can solve for x. You're going to square both of these. You got to square both the 2 and the x. That's 4x squared. This will be 9x squared. And 13 squared is 169. These are like terms. You can add the coefficients. 4 and 9 make 13. And then I can solve for x squared by dividing both sides by 13. And that will give me an x squared of 13. 169 divided by 13 is 13. I can get x here by square rooting both sides. X would just be square root of 13. But you don't need to do that because it ultimately wants the area. The area of a rectangle is going to be the height times the width. It'll be 2x times 3x. This is going to simplify to 6x squared. 2 times 3 gives you 6. X times x gives you x squared. And look, I have x squared in my area here. I can just simply replace x squared with 13. So the area is going to be 6 times 13. And that comes out to 78. And since the diagonal was in inches, the area is going to be inches squared. There you go.